Yeah. Hey, what's happening YouTube? Darkworm21 here, welcoming you to another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! 101. If you recall in last week's episode, I said we'd be going over normal summoning and effect-based special summoning. Well, you can rejoice as you heard a spoken word typo. In today's episode, we are covering all of the monster types in Yu-Gi-Oh! So let's kick off with the Aqua type. All of these monsters are normally water attribute, and in certain games are represented by a teardrop. Some notable examples are Gamma Seal, the sea-destroying kaiju, and the Xyz monster Totally Awesome. Moving on, we have the Beast type. These cards are usually modeled after animals of some sort. Some famous examples in Yu-Gi-Oh! are the Ojama cards, Gazelle, King of Mythical Beasts, and the fusion monster Chimera, the flying mythical beast, used by Yugimoto. Next, we have Beast Warrior. These are also modeled after animals, however, they're carrying various weapons like axes, spears, etc., etc. One example is the Phantom Beast archetype, and if you'll look right here, I have a huge selection of freaking cards that I'm going to be using for this video somewhat. Next type we have is the Creator God type. This is a type created and used by one specific monster, that being Horikathi, the Creator of Light, which is the ultimate form of the 3 Egyptian God cards. Next up, we have the Cybers type. This type doesn't have a specific attribute listed with it. It can be light, dark, earth, whatever. But this is the only new type to be used by a main protagonist in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series. Moving right along, we have the Dinosaur type. These are obviously modeled after dinosaurs from prehistoric times. I don't have any examples in my card collection, but I do know one is Ultimate Tyranno and Superconductor Tyranno. Moving on, we have my favorite type, the Dragon type. These are all modeled after various dragons in range and attribute. A famous example would be Seto Kaiba's Blue Eyes White Dragon, as well as Joey's Red Eyes Black Dragon. And I can't believe I skipped one. We have the Divine Beast type. This type is specifically for the 3 Egyptian god cards, Obelisk the Tormentor, Winged Dragon of Ra, and Osiris the Heavenly Dragon. Then we have the Fairy type, also known in the OCG as the Angel type. These cards are usually light monsters, and a famous example would be the Shining Angel that I'm holding right here. Next up, we have the Fish type, modeled obviously after fishes, and are normally water attribute. An example is the 7-colored fish card. Then moving on, we have the Insect type, which I'm trying to find if I have an example here to show you, and I do not. An example is the infamous draw card known as Max C, as well as Weevil's ace monster, the Insect Queen. And then moving right along, we have the Machine type, modeled after robots and various other electronics. Most famous are the XYZ Union monsters. And then we have Plant type. These are all modeled after various plants. And one example is Lone Fire Blossom, which I will be including in a deck that I'm going to build. And then we have the Psychic type, used by Sayer in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. An example of this is Thought Ruler Archfiend. Then we have the Pyro type, basically modeled after anything relating to fire, which is the attribute associated with them. An example of this is the Flameveil archetype. Then we have the Reptile type, which is modeled after lizards, snakes, and various other reptiles. An example is the Trap Monster embodiment of Apophis. And then we have Rock type, such as my Giant Soldier of Stone right here. Most famous example are the 3 Magnet Warriors, Beta, Gamma, and Alpha, as well as their retrains known as the Electromagnet Warriors, Valkyrian the Magnet Warrior, and its retrain, Berserkion. And then we have the sea serpent type, which I don't think I have an example in here at all, but oh well. These are modeled after creatures that lurk in the sea, like the Kraken from Greek mythology, and an example of this is Water Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Next we have the Spellcaster type, like the Exodia piece that I'm holding right here. The most famous example is Yugi's Dark Magician. And then we have the Thunder type, which I do not seem to have at all in this collection, but the most famous is Thunder Dragon, which Kaiba used in the Virtual World arc of the original anime. And then we have the Warrior type. These can also range in attribute, and most famous example is the Hero archetype: Elemental Heroes, Masked Heroes, Omni Heroes, Vision Heroes, and the Jack's Knight that I'm holding right here in my hands. Then we have the Winged Beast type, which I don't have one of those either. But the most famous example is Maya's Harpies. And then we have the Worm type, which is a relatively new type to the game. An example is Tornado Dragon from the Maximum Crisis set. And then we have the Zombie type, also known in the Japanese as the Undead type. These cards are usually like amalgamations of different things. And an example is Necroface right here. And I know this is probably going to be a short video, but feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you liked the video and maybe learned something new. If not, doesn't matter to me. Dislike the video, don't subscribe. Feel free to support me on Patreon, which I will leave a link in the description below, and I'll catch y'all next week.